Okay, I'm going to try to figure this out so that I could see everybody's comments and whatnot. I have it on my computer and on my phone. So, hey, I'm Jaimee. I'm an alcoholic. Most of you that follow me or my friends, you already know this. And today is my 11-year sober anniversary. I decided that this year I was going to celebrate a little bit differently rather than going to a meeting. I was coming on live. It's time to share my story, maybe help some other people who, I don't know who's going to see this. Maybe nobody will see it. Oh, Arlene's there. But it's important for people to know that an alcoholic, an addict, is not just the homeless person. It's not the Bowery bum or anything like that. It is your garden variety lacrosse mom, Wall Street executive, off-roader. Hi Deb, hey Cal, hi Hubs. But it's me. And when I first got sober, I was seeing someone and they're like, why would you tell anyone? And AA is all about anonymity. But for me, I recover out loud so that it holds me accountable. If I was to pick up a drink, I think I have close to 5,300 followers. I'd have to let 5,300 people know that I picked up a drink. So all of you that watch me, all of you that share my videos and all of that hold me accountable. You all keep me alive. So I wanted to, hi Bowie. So I wanted to share my story with all of you. It's big, it's deep. This is going to be gritty. I'm going to cry. I'll laugh. Hope you'll laugh. Grab the tissues just in case. So if I was in a meeting, I would say, hi, I'm Jaimee. I'm an alcoholic. My sober date is January 29, 2015. I am the child of two addicts. My mother has 35 years. My father, November 2nd, committed suicide due to his addiction to Ambien. So that we've got both sides of the disease. You know, we've got the recovery side and we have the crippling side. They say that addiction is cunning, baffling, and powerful, and it really fucking is. I would do anything to have my dad back. And I've got wind chimes outside my window to let me know when he's here. But so my story starts with, I started drinking in 9th grade. I was at a friend's house. I just got home from horseback riding. Hi Jordan. I got back from horseback riding and I got a call from friends and said, hey, come over to so-and-so's house. I'll leave them out of this. We're going to drink. And that just sounded super cool and fun. And okay, I'm up for a party. So I drank and I blacked out. And I was an imbecile, but if you know me, I'm an imbecile all the time. Anyway, I was the first one to be woken up out of the stupor to help clean up because the parents were coming home. Went to the next friend's house. My parents called. They were going to pick me up and we were going out for dinner. And we went out to a place in Cedarhurst called Casablanca. And it wasn't just my parents and my brother. It was like everybody. Hi, Heath. And I did a face plant on the table. There's a movie with Goldie Hawn and Burt Reynolds where she face plants and at a restaurant, and I did that. And then that's where the lying started. So my parents asked me what was going on, and I had said that I had thrown up at Beth's house, and well, why'd you throw up? And I said, well, I thought that I was eating a Rolo, but it was a peanut butter cup. And I'm allergic to peanut butter. Rolos and peanut butter cups don't look anything alike, but I'm an alcoholic. And when I drink, I lie. When I drink, I do really stupid stuff. So it started in 9th grade. This drinking started, the pot smoking, the boys started. My disease runs across every gamut. There is nothing that I am not addicted to. Nothing is safe. But through recovery, I've learned to do things better. So I started drinking in high school, partied throughout college. I had a great time. I was never an everyday drinker. Married another person that liked to drink, and we had a child. And my daughter has seen things that she never should see, things that I'm not proud of, but it's part of my story. We did a cruise, and we went to the Bahamas, and I literally became Snooki, black bikini, leopard print sarong. I was calling a guy on the beach who had a full beard Santa Claus, and I thought I was Ariel the mermaid splashing in the ocean. Took some man's sunglasses and decided that they were my own, and I was keeping them, and my husband had a fight to get them off of me. I then, as we were getting back to the cruise, I had to pee so badly, and there's something about me getting back to cruise ships where I just have to pee, and couldn't hold it, and I was crying, and I was a mess. And by the time we got through security and we're on our hallway to go to the room, I fully peed myself in the hallway. My husband went running. Jackie was screaming at me, Mom, stop, get up. I'm on my knees laughing my ass off as I just peed myself, and then passed out. Woke up, took a shower, don't remember anything else. Then came Hurricane Irene, and I pre-partied outside in our backyard and passed out in our patio I pre-partied before the hurricane. I had no booze left for the hurricane. So these are things that went on. Jackie knew when she was little there was a difference in our cabana at our beach club because we belonged to the Sands in Atlantic Beach. And so during the summers, I would go to work 2 days a week, and I'd be at the cabana 5 days a week. Mondays and Wednesdays was Camp Jaimee Day, where my friends would come out and from the city or all over, and we would drink all day. I would trade early in the morning and then start drinking, and then stop drinking by, 3:30, so I could trade 3 o'clock, so I could trade for the last half hour of the day. Made my clients a lot of money, but it was great. It was a good time. I went to work on Tuesdays and Thursdays only because I had a personal trainer at the gym. And that's what was important to me. It was fun. Jackie knew. I remember there was one day we were sitting at the table at the cabana, and Jackie and her friends got out of day camp, and we had been doing shots, and her friends like, oh, look, little glasses, baby glasses. And Jackie was like, no, those are booze juice glasses. So in the cabana, there was always a blender for booze juice, and then there was a Jackie blender for Coca-Cola slushies or whatever slushie I was making her. But that's what our life was. October of 2014, my ex-husband decided to leave for someone that he knew from high school. His mother had just died that September, and he made the decision to go. And it was not, as my old psychic had said, it was a good marriage. It was nice. It was good. It was nice. He loved me. I was not really there. I had checked out. But I'm grateful. I can look back with gratitude because I have my daughter. She is my world. She's my best friend. I raised her. She has raised me. So he decided to leave. And after being together for 15 years now, I'm dating. And who knew? I had no idea of what internet dating was, and I was naive and stupid and met some guy who worked for Blackwater. He was supposedly a mercenary or a contractor. Either way, he was going overseas and killing people, for anyone who doesn't know what those things mean. So not a good person, but I always tend to find the edgier people. I don't know. I like the bad boy. This guy was a bad boy. So I hosted our annual Christmas party. This time I did not have my ex-husband there, so it was just me. I have always had social anxiety, so it was good with 1-2 people, maybe 3 tops. After that, I would just drink this way. I don't have to deal with you. or anybody else. And I would always cook and cater the party. I do all my own cooking and serving and whatever. So this way I could hide in a kitchen. Well, this year I had decided, well, I'm going to be a big shot because I have alimony and I have this, and whatever, there's money. So I'm going to do the party myself, and I'm going to hire help. I catered it, and I had a waitress. Biggest mistake of my life. So the theme was a pajama party. I was wearing silk leopard print pajamas with a red push-up bra. We had a photo booth. The icon at the bottom of the photo booth was my cleavage, because that was funny. It's really not funny when I look back at these things. Like, it's really like fucked up, like the things that I thought were okay. So party was crazy, tons of alcohol. Office drug dealer shows up with a pocket full of Molly because he knew that was my drug of choice. So I had been drinking champagne. I had been drinking Jack Daniels makes Winter Jack in the winter. It tastes like apple juice, and was drinking bottles of that and bottles of champagne, and did fireball shots for the first time that night. And this imbecile that I had been dating, well, second date, was there. I threw up a whole bunch of times, more times than I remembered at first. Passed out outside, passed out inside. I do remember throwing up in the bathroom of the condo clubhouse, and him coming in and yelling at me, and I became that crying girl that I don't want him not to like me. I've just never been that way, and I never gave a shit who liked me and who doesn't. And that night I was everything that I did not want to ever be, or never thought that I could be. And so at some point I was taken home. I think Debbie dropped me off, and he followed back to the house, and I proceeded to strip as I was walking up the stairs, from what I recall, barely. The evidence was waking up the next morning. And I was raped that night in my house in a blackout. I don't remember any of it. Watching everything, the P. Diddy trials, kind of scares the shit out of me, because from everything that was strewn around my room, I don't know if he was the only person in my house. But I woke up the next morning, there were plenty of condoms, used condoms on the floor. All of my hooker shoes, all women have like these sexy shoes. They were all out of the closet. Vibrators were out. I told you this was going to be a little gritty, but this is my story. And so all of this is out, and this man is laying in my bed. I'm naked, and I have no idea of what the hell happened to me. Did that body part check, from the old Craigslist story of them stealing your kidneys or whatever, and everything was there. Everything's intact. Nothing is bleeding. And looked for my cell phone. Had no idea of where that was. Got up, saw the wreckage of my clothing, my pajamas going down the stairs. Got dressed. And at that moment, I had my awakening that I could not do this anymore. I'm now a single mom. I need to be alive for my daughter. And this is just bad. This is bad. So I had that awakening. I had that conversation with God, and that, I don't want to die. And that's the one thing. I've flipped a car. I walked away with that with no scratches. I've done some really stupid things, and I'm still here. So, stupid me offered to make this imbecile breakfast the next morning. I woke him up. I'm like, where's my phone? I don't know. Where's my Jeep? Brand new Jeep. It's outside. How'd it get here? Will's wife. Debbie, you didn't have a name that night. You were just Will's wife. Will's wife drove it here. Debbie was wonderful and cleared up the entire clubhouse, packed everything into my Jeep, brought it home, and made this asshole breakfast, and then sent him on his way. I even went out, I went out with him one more time after that. Like, how stupid. Got through New Year's, and then decided to get back on the dating thing. Like, I knew that I shouldn't drink. Went down to Florida. Had a drink here, there, nothing really. January 10th, started speaking to another person. We had our first date on January 20th, and we didn't drink, and it was great, and it was wonderful. And I remember calling my mom and going, I just met the man that I'm supposed to know. Like, this is a life changer. Like, he was in recovery, and it was an amazing first date, and we spoke a language that of honesty and rawness, and it was wonderful. And went on a cruise a few days later. I think we left the 23rd or something like that. And we're on this cruise, and I wasn't really drinking, drank a little bit. We had a day at Cozumel and at an all-inclusive, and I wanted to drink, and I couldn't, just nothing would go down, nothing tasted right. And I decided, so I was like, okay, just blew it off. The next morning, woke up and said, I'm going to get a bottle of Prosecco, and when I'm done with this, I'm done. Champagne, Prosecco was my thing. And everybody, there was 3 other families with us, and they're like, really? And they're like, yeah, okay. I'm like, no, when I'm done, I'm done. And I nursed that bottle all day, and that was truly my last drink. It was our last day at sea, and got off the boat, and 2 months later, I went to my first meeting on March 29th. My cat had died that Thursday. The guy I was seeing had gone MIA, and I found out that he relapsed after he had supposedly 18 months, or I don't even know. I don't think I'll ever know the truth on how long he was really sober at that point. There's a whole lot that I had found out that was not true. But anyway, he became a very important part of my story. So in AA, founded by Bill Wilson, he had a best friend named Ebby who helped him get sober, and this person was someone who helped me he became my Ebby. He became the best friend that helped me get sober. He wound up going into rehab, and that November, and I stepped up my game. But March 29th, 2015, I went to my first AA meeting. I was 2 months sober, and I got a sponsor. And I walked into that meeting terrified. So afraid. If you are thinking about going to a meeting, go. It's really not bad. It's the most wonderful place you'll ever walk into. So I went in thinking I was real smart and smooth, and I sat 2 seats from the door, figuring, okay, I'm in, but I could leave. Well, we make plans, God's laughs. And a woman came up to me and said, okay, you're new, come sit with me. And we sat at the front table. So there was no getting out of this room. In that meeting, it was a traditions meeting. It was a 3rd tradition, and it was the only requirement for membership is a desire to stop drinking. And okay, there I am. I'm supposed to be here. And then someone shared about how it was never enough drugs, it was never enough alcohol, it was never enough pocketbooks, it was never enough black belts, it was never enough this, and it was the disease of more. And I said, holy shit, I'm right where I'm supposed to be. And I stayed, and I kept coming, and I kept coming, and I was told to get a home group, get a sponsor, get a commitment. And so I got a sponsor. I got a home group. I actually got 2 home groups because I'm an addict. I took several commitments. I'm a numbers person, and working on Wall Street, I just figured if I took commitments, which I never wanted to commit to anything or anyone in my whole life, that if I had a commitment, it would make me stay. I'd have to show up. Well, I guess it worked, because 11 years later, I'm still showing up, and I'm still not drinking. And I made a whole group of friends, and I surrounded myself with sober people, men and women. And it was, I still hung out with my friends. Debbie still saw me all the time. But my life was really cocooned in AA. I had to protect myself. I remember I was sober for 1.5 years, and it was my birthday, and I called one of my friends from high school. I'm like, we got to do something for my birthday. She said, oh, do you want to go bowling? You want to go to pottery? And I was like, no, I'm not 12. I'm sober, but I'm not 12. let's go out in the city. So we did a girls' night in the city. We went to a sushi restaurant. I think it was sushi. And it was wonderful to be out. And we made sure that the waiter knew that I was sober. So this way there was no accidentally giving me a shot or anything like that. And instead of birthday cake, they did shots. And so there were no pictures allowed of me doing a thing of passion fruit juice, because I did not want that to ever be thought that I was, never to be misinterpreted. I was told early in sobriety, don't drink mocktails, because at some point it could become a cocktail. So last year I had my first frozen drink. John and I were in Harrah's, and I still, when we're out to dinner, if I order a soda, I have him test it to make sure that I'm not drinking anything wrong. So I have a sponsor. I sponsor women. I have sponsored men and women over the years. I've gone to tons of meetings. I have gone to NA meetings and sponsored NA women. I found myself in my Jeep. I'm all over the place, and I'll reel this back in. It's just, how did sobriety change my life? I went to meetings. I found the sober circle. I learned about the herd, that we stick together. You know, you look at a herd of elephants, the youngest, the weakest, the sickest, the oldest are in the center. We surround each other, we protect each other. And that's truly the way I live my life. My circle of friends is my herd. Like, I have the best people surrounding me. So I was about a year and a half sober, and I had my Jeep, and people on Long Island were talking about going to Roush Creek, and we're going to Roush Creek, and we're going off-roading. I'm like, what the fuck is off-roading? I'm not taking this Jeep that I got as a gift from my godfather on the off-road. I don't know what this is. So I took a class at Northeast Off-Road Adventures, and felt truly empowered. And empowered is a word that I never knew until I got sober. So went off-roading, and it was the greatest thing that ever happened. So that was August of 16? August of, I think, 16. And so that New Year's Eve, August of 16, that New Year's Eve, I had seen that there was a group called Wheelers LLC that was hosting a New Year's wheeling trip. So I had taken my class. I had done a Thanksgiving ride at Northeast Off-Road Adventures. And I brought one of my friends that I met in AA, and he nearly shit himself. He couldn't believe what the hell I was doing. But he saw how much I loved it. And it was a thrill. So, I'll go do a weekend of wheeling, and said, Jackie, let's go. Meanwhile, we had just adopted a tortoise. I took a tortoise with me. This is the sickness. I took a tortoise with me to the hotel. We get back from the first day of wheeling. Taco's ass exploded from the tub all the way up and down the wall. So if anyone was there, we had a big Jeep family from Wheelers. Jackie and I had I went out, and anyone who knows me knows I don't know how to clean. So now I'm in a panic, because now I've got to clean an entire bathroom. So I went to Dollar General, bought every cleaning supply possible, mops, everything, scrubbed the bathroom before we went in the pool. And then, I think the pool was too cold. And then it was just nuts. The next day we wheeled at AOAA with Taco, because we were going home. And, that Saturday that we were wheeling, slid down a hill backwards. Thought we were going to go over. It was nuts. Like, how I fell in love with wheeling, I have no idea. But what I have learned in sobriety and wheeling has pushed that even forward, is that there is not an obstacle out there that I can't overcome, and that I don't have to do anything by myself. So that first day of wheeling, we get to an obstacle, and I'm screaming. I'm like, I'm getting out of the Jeep. I didn't know what to do. I couldn't see how to get through it. So I would literally get out of my Jeep and ask someone to drive over the obstacle. and I would just get in the back seat and let them drive me out. So it got to a point where it was, she's out of the car again. She's out of the Jeep again. And all I kept hearing was, I can't, he can, so I'll let him. Another slogan that I learned in AA. And that's been, so I've learned to surrender. I know when I can't do something, and I don't mind asking for help. My God, help is the biggest, hardest sentence in the entire world. But what a powerful sentence, that and no. So I've learned these things. I've learned that I need to show up for people. Suit up, show up, do the right thing. I've learned that God will provide. Sponsor used to tell me that every week. I'd get nervous every month. How am I going to pay my bills? How am I going to pay my bills? I'd be at a meeting. I'd get back to the office, and all of a sudden there'd be enough commissions that day just to cover for my whole month's of bills. And there's so many lessons that have come out of recovery, and so many incredible people. But each year on my anniversary, I tend to learn something different. There's a different lesson. It's like the month before my anniversary date, you get that annual look back. And I have learned the difference between needs and wants. Your needs are internal. I need to be at peace. I need to love myself. I need to make me happy before anyone else can. My wants are everything that's external. I want more Jeep parts. I want a puppy. Yes, I am in puppy fever right now. I want more vacations. Whatever. I want a sushi date with my daughter, which I'm doing on Saturday. But those are the wants. Those are not needs. So all of us say, I need this. You don't need it. It's a want. That was a big thing. Showing up for people. My God, that's been my reminder for this year with my dad's suicide. I'm grateful that he knew that he could count on me, and that I would show up. And I did. And I show up for my friends, and I show up for people that I barely even know. If you call me and say, I need help, you could bet your bottom dollar that I will be there. But what I was also reminded of this year is that not everybody lives by the same creed that I do. And that's okay. It's been a real hard lesson this year. People that I thought were like family, completely, my dad killed himself, and I never got a phone call. I never got a text. I had someone who yelled at me because I had said that, I was upset about people not getting in touch. And completely got blindsided and blown up, and a nasty post about me on Facebook. And that's okay, because I am not everyone's cup of tea, and I don't claim to be. I will be always honest with you. I will be there for you. I will check in on you. I will be that person to hold you through the worst of times, and I will be there to laugh my ass off with you in the best of times. And I'll make an ass out of myself just to help you out, or just because I'm an idiot. But I've learned to show up, and I care. I care a lot. I care probably more for people that don't deserve it than I should, but I can't help it because that's just part of me. My heart is big. I don't ask for anything, at least not much that I could think of. But I love big and I love hard. And yes, I am tough. But I am soft as shit on the inside. My sorority nickname was Punky, and I always laughed when they said it. It was like, it's because I don't match, and I knew what it meant. Back then I had a crew cut. I had a number 3 buzz cut, but they saw, tough exterior, mushy inside, just like the TV show. And recovery has allowed me to own who I am. So I do. I had gone to a meeting years ago in Connecticut. I was running away from home because me and Mr. Wonderful, not really wonderful. Well, he's wonderful, not my wonderful. We'll go that route, as an old sponsor had told me. He's a great guy, just not my great guy. It wasn't working out, and I was spiraling. And so I went to a meeting. I went to see one of my sorority sisters in Connecticut, and I went to a meeting, and they said, turn something negative into a positive. And all I could think of is, someone called you an alcoholic, you're not going to like it. But calling myself an alcoholic. That's a negative, could be, but it's the most positive thing that I've ever owned up to. I wear that tiara with as much pride as I do as calling myself Jackie's mom. You know, and being the founder of Girls Play Off-Road and helping people and doing good and giving out prom dresses and all of this, like, it helped me to find me. It helped me to realize who I am. And it was funny when this person had come for our second date. He came over to my house, and my wedding invitation had been hanging on my wall in my living room, and he had mentioned it. And the next time he came over, it was replaced with a sign that said, "I choose fabulous." And that had become my word. And then I found another picture that was a definition. Where are those pictures? That said, you know, that was the definition of fabulous that used to hang in my bedroom right by my door. But I guess the point is, I got sober, I found me. I found out that I am really, truly fucking fabulous. We all are. It's just a matter of being open and willing to change from some of our old behaviors, or even being open and willing to look at ourselves and identify with who we are. You know, just do the right thing, do good things, help people, put your hand out, you know, and be honest. Just, you know, I don't know, people find it so easy to lie. I can't do that. I get nothing out of that. I choose to live by the 12 steps of AA. I fully believe that you don't need to be sober to live by the 12 steps. It is a playbook to live by. And if anyone is interested in learning about the 12 steps, I will be more than happy to walk anyone through the steps. I'm working with one of my sponsees right now, who is fantastic, that I met 2 years ago at a women's meeting. Almost 3 years, I think, at a women's meeting. And we are starting to now really dig into the steps. I have my other sponsee, Danielle, who was going to come on tonight. She is 9 years today. What are the chances that I would have a sponsee with the same anniversary? She is also one of the blessings from my first marriage, because they used to work together, and I had met her at a charity event, and I drove her home from New York City. And when she decided to get sober 2 years later, she called me, and we did it. And we've been doing this together on and off for 9 years together, and it is such a blessing. And I have watched her change. And there have been so many wonderful people that have come in my life that I have watched the light go on, where they have come from such dark places. So I am a truly, truly grateful alcoholic. It is the best gift. It's the best of the genes. You know, I could say that, you know, oh, it's terrible, I inherited the addict gene. You know what? It's the best fucking gene, because I have the only terminal disease that when I take my medicine, it makes me a better person, and that medicine is recovery. So I read my books every day. I talk to sober people daily, and I just keep suiting up and showing up and doing the right thing. So if you've listened to this, I can't thank you enough. Like, comment, share it. If you know someone who's in trouble, feel free to share this. Feel free to have them get in touch with me. I'm here. And I don't say no to helping. So much love to everybody. Thank you for all of the love and support on Facebook and Instagram and the text messages and everything. You guys mean the world to me. And I've learned it's not a me program, it's a we program. I can't do this without all of you. So truly, from the bottom of my heart, much love. Thank you. And my sober squad and my circle of savage friends, thank you, thank you, thank you. Mom, Jack, Bets, I just couldn't do this without you. So love to everybody. Night.